Hey guys, this is Katrina from Smoke and Arrow. Let's start by going through some of the essential elements and characteristics on this 1541S. This is a 1541S primarily because it has a security clutch on it, and we'll go over that. It's also a triple feed dog, which is, I think, essential for doing any kind of leather work. This machine handles heavier materials like leather, canvas, denim, veg tan, chrome leathers. I don't really recommend doing cork on it. You can do some vinyls, but the machine with the triple feed can really eat away at some of those materials. So I would be extra careful. We're going to just start out by threading up the bobbin winder. As you can see, we have the spools on the threading tree that come through those two small holes at the top. The right one will be our bobbin thread, and to the left will be the top thread. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to just take you over here and get a little closer look here to the bobbin winder. So we're going to take our thread, we're going to put it through this hole through the back. This is a knob that you can tighten or loosen according to how much tension that you want on your thread as you wind your bobbin. It's just something that you kind of have a feel for. Then we're going to pop in a bobbin here, and the way that I do it is I take about maybe 6 inches or so of the end of the thread, and I wrap it 3 times to the left or to the right, and then take this thread and wrap it 3 times to the left. Then I go in and I take the thread and I push it through one of these holes and pull it out and put down my adjuster clamp. Now let's talk about this clamp here. This is an automatic bobbin winder, which basically means that you will be able to wind your bobbin while you're sewing. Now the way that you set that is there is a screw right here, and it is holding this foot here. And you can unscrew that, and it will create a angle in which you will set for when you want your bobbin to release. So I'm going to wind this a few times, and then I am going to clip it. Some people put a little clip on there or some kind of a weight. Sometimes that'll work to hold that down, or you can just hold it. And then you're going to wind your bobbin. Now you can also do this while you're sewing, and if you're wanting another bobbin for your project and you have 2 spools of the same color thread, then you can actually wind your bobbin as you're sewing. If not, you're looking ahead to your next project, go ahead and wind a bobbin for your next project while you're sewing the one that you're on. So this will wind automatically, and when it gets to the place that you have set your foot, it will automatically then just release, which you should be seeing here pretty shortly. I have mine set about 1/16 of an inch from the edge, the very end of the bobbin. I do this because the larger threads like the 92 and the 138, there we go, have a tendency when you cut them, they will start to unravel really quick. So I don't like that, so I keep mine there. See how it ravels? If it's too much on there, it's going to unravel a lot, and we don't want that. We're going to pull and tug it off, and there we have our bobbin. So here we have our bobbin with the thread going out to the right, and we have our bobbin casing here. When you place your bobbin into the bobbin casing, there's a couple things that you need to be aware of. The first one is the bobbin casing has this opening here, kind of a window. And you can also see the post there that goes into the center of the bobbin here when you place it on. The other thing I want you to take note of is right here, that slit right there. So when the thread comes over, you're going to go back up through that slit, and then you're going to go up here into the hole where the thread will come out underneath that spring. So you'll just kind of slide it in there, and that thread will come up there. And that's where the needle on your machine will go down and pick up the thread. Over here, there are two screws. The first one is the screw that you would adjust for your tension on your thread, and the second one is one you really don't need to play with too much. It just keeps the spring onto the bobbin casing. And you're going to hold it like so, and you're going to put it into the casing. You're going to turn it around. You're going to see where that slit is, and you're going to just pull that up and around in there. Okay? And then there you have it. If you kind of lift it up and give it a little force, it should move a little bit down, and mine does. And I know that my tension is set. Okay, so let's thread this machine. We're going to take the brown thread that we had on our thread tree that we had already put through the thread hole, and we're going to put it through this top pin. This is a thread guide pin. It has two holes there, and we're going to start by putting this first one from right to left. And bring that around, and then we're going to go through it again from right to left. Then we've got these four holes up here in the bracket, and we are going to take our thread, and we are going to take the end of it, and we're going to put it from top to bottom through the first hole. And then we're going to take it again, and we're going to put it through the third hole. Then we're going to come down, and we're going to see this bracket here on the side, another thread guide, and it has two holes. I'm going to kind of do the same thing. We're going to go in from right to left, pull that out, take it and go back around right to left, and pull that through. Okay, now we've got that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go down here to the tension discs. There are two discs here that we need to put our thread through. This is a spring, so don't get your thread caught in there. And this is a tension adjusting knob. This is where you would adjust your thread to be either tighter or looser. So if you turn it to the right, it's righty-tighty. If you turn it to the left, it's lefty-loosey. Okay? So let's take that, and we're going to go down through these two. We're going to kind of, I always bring mine up to make sure that I get it in there good, and then bring it back down, and then up through this second one. This tension disc, however, you do not want to mess with the knob on there. That's pretty much factory set, so you want to just leave it. Any adjusting you do, you want to do with the adjuster knob there. Okay, so this is going to come up here. You're going to see that spring, okay? And make sure that you hear that click. Then we're going to go up here through this thread guide. And then again up through this thread guide. And then we're going to go to the loop threader, or the presser foot loop threader. There, pull that out. Go back down. We can go right behind there. And then we've got this small kind of rectangular window, and we're going to put the thread down through there, come out front. There is a spring bar here, and we're going to put that through there. And then there's this one last little window and we're going to go front to back on that. Okay, I'm going to put that down. Okay, so next we have the needle shaft here that's holding our needle by this little screw right here. We want to put our thread through this hole. That's very important. As a lot of you know, when it comes to the needles on an industrial machine, there's a specific type of needle that we use. So as you can see, I'm going to try and hold it up here to the camera and see if you can see it well. There is right here, there is an indentation there. That indentation is going to always go to the right. If I turn the needle around, you're going to see this groove in the needle, and that groove is going to always go to the left. Okay, so when you put your needles in, you want to make sure that that indentation is to the right and that groove is to the left. Now we're going to take our thread and put it in and take it through. The last step, and the one that you do not want to forget, is that if there is a hole here in your presser foot, you want to make sure that this thread also goes through the presser foot. That's going to help you, along with holding your threads when you start your stitching, to make sure that you don't have a lot of that nesting going on underneath your fabric. Okay, now we can go ahead and we can pull our bobbin thread up. Okay, and there it is. All right, so now we're going to pull that bobbin thread out, and we can see our white bobbin thread is there. All right, and now we're going to get ready to sew. Okay, so the last thing that I want to talk about today on this video is the security clutch. If your machine stops sewing over here at the needle over here, if it stops sewing over here and gets locked up, then what you want to do is you want to go over to your button here, right here, and you want to depress it. You want to just push it. You want to push it down, and you want to just hold it there. Okay? Then you're going to go over here to the hand wheel, and you are going to push the wheel away from you or towards the wall. Okay, so then we're going to take it and we're going to push it. And we're going to keep on turning it till we feel the button underneath our finger depress. Okay, I just felt this button go down. Now I'm going to release it. Then I'm going to take the hand wheel here and I'm going to move it towards me until I hear a click. Now that we've confirmed that the machine is re-engaged, once again, we can start sewing. Just want to mention a couple things to watch out for to keep your machine running smoothly. Some of the things that could occur that would disengage your hook assembly would be that the top thread tension is too loose. So make sure that you keep your tension on your top thread adequate for your sewing. The needle could be deformed or bent or broken, and that would definitely disengage the hook assembly and possibly do damage to it. The feed dogs, if they are not clean, could have a buildup of lint and dust. Even adhesives and glue could get stuck underneath there and gunk up the bottom of the feed dog. Always use a really high quality thread so that it doesn't break and get webbed up underneath the feed dogs also, because that also could disengage the hook assembly. So those are just a few reminders. I hope this video has helped some of you, and thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.